Hi, I'm Sydney Turnbow, and welcome to your Studio M, your McKinney ISD talk show. Today's episode features students from Boyd's education and training classes who are getting a head start on a potential career in teaching. Later in the show, we'll talk with two very talented sisters from Fabian Middle School on their big role in the upcoming fall musical, and we'll take a look at the McKinney ISD ESL program. Stick around for those guests, all next on Studio M. Hi, I'm Sydney Turnbow, as I said before. I'm currently a sophomore at McKinney High School. I do a lot of extracurricular things known as broadcast journalism. I'm involved in that, and I would love to be an anchor on the news. I'm also involved in choir, and we're going to be doing Magical Dinner, which is where we act like we're in medieval times and dress up and have lots of fun, so you should come join us in the fall. I'm also in the school musical and just got the lead in Spamalot, so you can come see that in the winter. But back to our guests. The McKinney ISD Education and Training Cluster provides students with a unique combination of classroom instruction and industry experience. Students in this cluster may discover a wide range of career possibilities in the education field. Here with more about the Education and Training program is Amanda Burdick from McKinney Boyd. So I hear that the program has changed the name from Ready, Set, Teach to something else. What is this called?
Education and Training.
Okay, so can you tell me a little synopsis about that?
Well, education and training and Ready, Set, Teach, they're the same thing, but education and training is like the class. And so there's two different levels. There's the instructional and the practicum.
So has anything about the program changed besides its name?
Not really.
No, not really. And so you're a senior this year, so how many years have you been involved in the program?
I've been in the program 2 years, my junior and senior year, because you can only be in it your junior and senior year.
Do you know why that is?
Well, it's mainly because transportation, you have to be able to drive yourself, and usually 16 is junior, and you're not required, but you should take the Principles of Education and Training class your sophomore year.
Okay, so how do you become a part of the Education and Training program?
The spring right before you want to do it, so either your sophomore or junior year, the spring of, you fill out an application, turn it into Miss Taylor, and then you'll have an interview with her, and she'll see where your heart is with the program and whether or not you should be in it. Then you're in it.
So why are you a part of the program?
I'm a part of the program because ever since I was little, I've wanted to be a teacher, so it fits.
So I hear you go off campus a lot for this program, so tell me about the expectations one would be to withhold since they're going off campus, obviously.
When we go off campus, you're expected to be able to drive yourself there because we go to Minshew and Walker, and then you have to wear your uniform shirt, nice jeans, and then closed-toed shoes when you're at the campus.
So how often do you go off campus?
We go every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then sometimes Fridays, just depending.
So how are the elementary schools selected that you go to?
It just depends on what's close to your high school.
Okay, so you've been involved in it for 2 years, so obviously you know kind of what it's about. So explain to someone who is interested in teaching why you think that this would gear them towards that.
It's just an experience to get into the classroom and find out if it's really for you or not, because you're not the teacher, but you're like student teaching, so the kids respect you as another teacher.
So when you're off campus, you're basically like teaching the kids, actually.
Yeah, you are.
So what are you doing on the days that you're not off campus?
We're preparing our Protecting You, Protecting Me lessons, which is good for us because it helps us prepare lessons and know what we're teaching the students, and it also helps the counselors because they have to teach it anyways. So if we teach it, then that's just one less thing they have to do.
So what was that you just called?
Protecting You, Protecting Me.
So what is Protecting You, Protecting Me?
It's teaching the students how to protect themselves and keep their brains safe from alcohol and other drug abuse.
So what do you personally like most about the program?
I just like being in the classroom and creating that relationship with the kids and your teacher. It's just wonderful. It's like a head start.
Okay, so why do you want to be a teacher?
I want to be a teacher because, well, ever since I was little, I've always played school and that kind of stuff. But when I was in middle school, I had this one teacher who was just amazing. She was more than a teacher to me. And so I was like, that's what I want to be when I'm older.
So how do you think you playing school as a little kid is different from you actually getting to be hands-on in the classroom dealing with these little kids?
Well, one's just telling my little siblings like what to do. No, what's 1 + 1 is 2. And the other one's actually teaching them like, you can do it. That's what it is.
So have you ever been in like a situation where you've had one of those kids that just aren't listening, and have you ever had to deal with it?
Oh yeah, sometimes they just will not listen to you, will not do whatever you want to do, and you just have to be patient.
Okay. So what is your, like, do you have a personal story that you've ever had in this program that is really interesting? Like a cool time? Because you said you had kids that don't mind. So, like, do you have a funny story about it?
Ooh, funny story. I don't know. Last year, because I was at Walker first semester, then I was at Minshew second semester. But then at the end of the year, I went back to my Walker students. And it was just funny how the kids, like, because you're like, oh, you're just with them that one semester. Yeah. They're going to, like, forget you and all the stuff that you taught them. But they're like, no, Miss Amanda, like, welcome back. It was just really cute.
So what do you think is the most challenging or hard part of this program?
It's mainly just, like, your first day when you first teach your lesson. It's just, like, the kids aren't going to like me. Like, what am I going to do? But it works out.
Okay, so how do you think this is going to prepare you for going into college?
Well, it already gives you, like, the classroom experience. So going into college, when you're taking all those college classes about, like, how and why, I already know, like, most of the stuff from the program.
Do you think that kids that are really interested in teaching, that if they did this, it would kind of give them a taste of it?
Oh, yeah.
And what do you think that this will provide you, like, outside of college into teaching? Do you think it'll have any correlation?
Yes, a lot of it is like just classroom management, because the more, like, the different styles that you see, you'll know what you want to do, and just different, like, creativity and that kind of stuff.
So what grade are you interested in teaching personally?
Well, I actually want to teach high school, but just being with the elementary students still helps me, like, know their personalities and stuff.
How will that transfer into, like, teaching high school? Because obviously we hope high schoolers aren't running around amok like little kindergartners.
Well, you'd actually be surprised. Some of them are still. But it just helps you know, and, like, it gets you comfortable in the classroom, and if you can relate to these students, then you can relate to potentially anybody.
So obviously you were interested in teaching, and I mean, I'm kind of interested in it, but I've never heard of this program. So how is it that you found out about this program personally?
From my friends. Because, like, my friends' siblings have been in the program, and they're like, oh, Amanda, you should totally do this. I'm like, okay. So I did.
So this program is also linked to FCCLA. So can you explain to me what FCCLA is?
FCCLA is Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. And in order to be in the organization, you have to take one of the family and consumer science classes, which education and training is one.
So what is that class like? What do you do in that class opposed to being?
FCCLA?
Yes.
It's just like an extracurricular organization. I mean,
so
it
should
like be a class, but
thing?
Yeah, it's a club.
Okay, so what do you do with that club? Like, I hear you went off to nationals. And
yeah, it's a leadership organization, and it just, like, improves all of your, like, leadership, communication, organization, like, all those skills, and then you can take them and apply them into a STAR event, and then you go and compete with that at the regional, state, and national level.
So you won, right?
Oh, yeah. Gold medal, baby.
So did you win it personally, or did you win it as a group?
I had a team member, Allie Boykin. She was my teammate.
So what did you do at the competition to win that?
We picked our STAR event, which was to promote and publicize FCCLA, and then Allie and I hosted an 8th grade dance to get them to know about FCCLA, and then we made a portfolio and presented it in front of the judges, and they passed us on, up and up.
So since you won nationals, how do you think that helps you in the class itself?
It helps me, well, I mean, you don't realize that you do gain those skills from doing the project, but it gives you, like, the organization skills, the time management skills, especially being in the classroom. Yeah. I have all the creativity-ness and organization and time management, and it just helps me know what to do.
So can people be an FCCLA without actually being in the teaching program itself?
Yes, but you have to take one of the family and consumer science classes. So that's like principles of human services, child development, child guidance, but it doesn't have to be education and training.
Okay. So You've obviously made it to nationals. So tell me, what has been your favorite part of just being in FCCLA itself?
Oh, there's so much.
Got a story?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
Story time. Okay. So just like going on the trips, because the trips aren't in McKinney, they're like in Dallas, Irving, and then nationals was in Nashville. And just like being with the trips and bonding with your friends and just like doing the projects and getting to know their views and like what they took out of it, it's really fun.
So do you have to pay when you go on these national trips or anything?
It depends. The district paid for us for nationals because it was so
Yeah.
far away, but you have to pay for like, you have to help pay for traveling and stuff when it's like in Dallas.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I love getting to hear about new programs, and I'm sure that anyone interested in teaching would love to hear more about that program. We need to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll look at the upcoming musical for Fabian Middle School.